Hello, and welcome to this video. I'm going to call it Odds and Ends of the Allocation Holder. This is a user-requested video, so I hope you get something out of it. The Allocation Holder, otherwise known as the unicorn, if you're talking to skeptical conservative me. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so I received a message on Reddit from a nice person who said, "Hi, David, thank you for your videos. You're welcome. If you don't mind, I need a little insight here. I will try to provide that. My family has gotten themselves in way over their head on this PPE thing. Tell me about it. You are not alone. You've got a lot of support, so I hope you reach out to the community." Okay. As the more analytical one, I turned to Reddit, to find some answers of this being too good to be true. Additionally, I've stumbled upon We Need PPE, and your videos have been very helpful. Thank you again. You're buttering me up for something, sir, or madam, as the case may be. Can you please give me insight of this seller-purchaser agreement term? XYZ will provide allocation letter upon receiving 10% deposit directly to XYZ, Malaysia, after some other conditions happen. Okay, so red flags from the get-go. Red flag number one is they require a substantial sum of money. We don't know how big the order is, but 10% of the purchase price just to show some documentation. Well, you can pound pavement, sir. You're not getting my money that easily. But let's just assume that wasn't there. Let's just say they provided you an allocation letter to say, oh, we have an allocation, because I see a lot of those, fraudulent or not. Let's talk about what an allocation letter is in legal terms, in terms of a contract, right? Okay, so we have two kinds of contracts that we learn about in law school, but we rarely see in practice, and that's an outputs contract and a requirements contract. A requirements contract is where the factory agrees to provide as much of a product as the buyer demands. And if that buys out the whole factory, fine. If that buys out the whole factory and they have to expand to fill the order, fine. Otherwise, they're in breach, right? A very risky contract, perhaps, for a factory and also perhaps the buyer. The flip side of that is an outputs contract. Right, that's where we come into what an allocation would be. An allocation would be the outputs of a certain number of lines in a factory. Okay, the outputs contract would mean that the buyer has to purchase every single glove that comes off the line, factoring in quality control and whatnot, of a certain factory. Okay, that's risky for the buyer, right? Because if they can't fill all those orders, they're just going to end up with stock just coming in. And it ends up being risky for the factory as well, because pricing changes. And so I guess it could be good if the market's going down. But anyway, there's some risk built in there. Okay, so there's a problem. One, these are pretty rare. I have not seen an actual one yet. Okay, I've seen a lot of fake ones and a lot of people who will repack claiming they have an allocation, but I've not seen an actual factory. And number two, it's not going to be in a letter format, right? This is going to be a complex agreement that I would need to see, right? And also you got to verify down to the factory level. Put it another way, Sri Trang's former joint venture partner, Semperit Group, owned 49% of the factory, and they did not have an allocation. Right, they had to bring orders to fill the contract. So someone with that much power in a relationship couldn't leverage an allocation. Practically speaking, they did have one because they were filling the orders, but the product went where the product went. I don't see this. I don't like allocation letters. If I saw a contract, I would still be skeptical. But that's conservative me. And getting back to it, pay to play, pay to see a letter. I would say, goodbye. No, thank you. You're not going to walk away with 10% of my purchase order. That's it for this video. Thank you very much for the message on Reddit. I hope this helps you, although I must disclaim it as not being specific legal advice to your situation. But if it helps, I'm happy. And please like, share, subscribe. I'm trying to look out for you, and you got to look out for yourselves too. Thanks. Is this thing still on?